Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, and this is our WWE edition. Welcome back, y'all, for all you WWE lovers or just pro wrestling fan lovers in general. And we got a decently packed week because we got to cover SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and predict two PLE.
Yep, PLE. Sorry.
You better watch your mouth. PLE. So we got two going on with NXT and WWE. But what's going on, Ryan? How was your week?
It was good. We had a AEW All In to kick off the week on Sunday. So that was a fun show. And then here we are on Thursday. Ready to rock and roll with
ready to rumble.
Yeah, there we go. That's one way to say it.
So we should do a watch along of that movie one time.
That's
like one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that flipping movie. I was going to tell you because you brought up the fact that your wife went to Taylor Swift at not Berlin at Wembley. And so I just saw an article or read something about because people were harping on AEW for not filling up, and they blamed it on Taylor Swift that supposedly the way it was put together, they didn't change it after Taylor Swift. So that's why they only fit 50,000 in there. I thought that was a little weird because I guarantee you Taylor Swift put like 110,000 people in that stadium. So I don't understand how it differed. I saw a lot of blocked out things I know this is a WWE episode, but I saw a lot of blocked out, but I thought it was a weird thing that I saw.
Yeah. My wife was at the Wembley show, the last concert they did on the 20th of August, and she said, there were over 100,000 people in that 81,000. I mean, they had people on the floor, they had people, and they still had a huge stage as well. So yeah, I saw that report too. I don't know how much stock I put into it. I mean, I think there's always seems to be some sort of excuse with AEW when it comes to ratings or attendance. It's always some sort of built-in excuse, and I mean, more power to him. If it helps him win the court of public opinion, who am I to judge him? So
true that. All right. So before we get into SmackDown, we got to start off with some sad news. Super sad news. You wanna say it? You're always the news person.
Yeah, we can. It is really sad. Psycho Sid, formerly known as Sid Vicious, or I guess Sid Eudy, formerly known as Psycho Sid and Sid Vicious, passed away on Monday, I believe it was. He apparently had cancer for the last couple of years, and he'd been battling with cancer. So yeah, he passed away. He was 64 years old. And yeah, it's really unfortunate, man. I remember watching Sid Vicious in WCW. That was his character was one of my favorite there, when like the Benoit feud and the Booker T stuff, and some of my favorite moments in WCW involved Sid Vicious when he was the world heavyweight champion there. So on sad, unfortunate news. I always wish that he would have gone back after the invasion to WWF and then WWE. I don't know why he never really did. I don't know if him and Vince never got along or what, but it's sad when he was only 64, and that still just feels so young to pass away. And cancer freaking sucks, man.
I'm like 21 years away from that. That's just insane to think about that, such a young age. And cancer does suck. It's worse that he passed away of cancer. It's always the worst that way. Sid, such a kind guy, but I feel like he was like hated on but loved on, as everyone had so many different opinions of him. But I one thing I loved about Sid was that he didn't give two shits. He went from WCW to WWE. Then he was upset because Hogan never wanted a job, so he bounced there, went back to WCW, back to WWE, back to W. Like, this guy was just like, I'm gonna do what I want when I want to. I don't care. And he was a multi-time world champion in both organizations. And one of my all-time favorite characters is Psycho Sid. I love the music, like the Psycho music that he came out to, how intense he was. He's the only, I'm trying to think, he might be the only minus Triple H Shawn Michaels rival that I ever liked. I'm always a person that, like, if you've wrestled Shawn in the 90s, I hated you. You wrestled Shawn, I hated you. I didn't want anything to do with you. It was Shawn Michaels for life. But him and Sid had some wonderful battles at Royal Rumble, and what was the main one was Royal Rumble. And they had another one too. Royal Rumble's when Shawn won. He lost it. I forgot what it was. Maybe like a Survivor Series or something. But that was all during Shawn's drug days. So he would, like, lose his smile. And Sid, remember, Sid replaced Shawn Michaels and he faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania 13. But I think he's one of the most, if not the most underrated big man, because when you talk about the top big men, you never hear about Sid. Now you will, obviously, but you never did. And I always thought that was messed up because his jackknife and everything he did, he was just so talented, so good. And I'll never forget when he jumped off the top rope and like
broke his leg.
Yeah, that was like one of the most first times I saw like a real life injury. But condolences to his friends, family, everybody. Psycho Sid's in our hearts, man. I love that dude.
He was one of my favorites, and it's weird that we last saw him. I think it was in 1997 in WWF, and then he never came back until Raw 1000. I think it was in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And that was when he like took out Heath Slater on like a random. And Heath Slater was taking out on all the legends, and then we never released. That was his last WWE appearance, and it's just really unfortunate. I wish we could have seen more of him, but that leg injury. I mean, it was brutal, and like you said, he's one of the best high flying big men out there, and that just proves it right there. I mean, he was going off of the top rope in that match and snapped his leg, and we don't see that very often with big men making those kinds of moves. So it was
not at all.
Condolences to his family, friends, everybody.
Yeah, agreed. Scariest person to ever have curly hair, I'll tell you that much. When I have curly hair, there was a reason why I always shaved my head, because I hated the curly hair, because I just didn't feel like I looked intimidating. That man with the curly hair still looked intimidating. So it's props to him. But
I have curly hair too. My hair grows up.
Oh, you do?
That's why I keep it short, because I don't like the curly hair.
Me neither.
I look
all right.
Yeah, I look jagged with it.
You look like Napoleon Dynamite, probably.
I don't look like Sid Vicious. That's for damn sure.
All right, let's get into it. With that said, let's get into some SmackDown. And this was another just not much happening, quick SmackDown. There's like 3 things that go on every SmackDown. And we're not even really, we'll get into it. All right, so A-Town Down opens the show with their TV show. Their guest is none other than Cody Rhodes, because what else does he have to do? A-Town Down cuts the intro off early to get some heat. They show a video of KO turning on every single person in the history of wrestling, and out comes KO to tell Cody all those people had it coming. That's some good helping right there. Aldis comes out to make a tag team main event later on tonight. LA Knight defends his title against Santos Escobar. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade bicker, and Santos Escobar will face Baron Corbin next week. Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair defeat the tag team champs and Blair Davenport, with Naomi getting a pin. Hey, they listened to our show about that time. The Bloodline out to the ring, and Solo tells Jacob Fatu to give his half of the titles to Tonga Loa. Jacob Fatu goes backstage and yells at Triple H. Just kidding, that didn't happen. Since Jacob Fatu is his enforcer, he does not need a tag team title. Makes sense. The Bloodline defend their tag team titles after that against the Street Profits with the help of guess who? Jacob Fatu. After the match, DIY hit the ring to make the save, but they don't, because Jacob Fatu destroys them as well. Cody seems to trust Kevin Owens. Mitchin is ready for Nia Jax. Nia Jax glares at everybody backstage. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens defeat A-Town Down Under. After the match, KO fakes hitting Cody with the belt and hands it to him instead. Cody legit looked relieved and worried, to close the show, and that's a SmackDown review. And I'm telling you, not much happened.
Yeah, that was a much ado about nothing episode of SmackDown. No Roman Reigns this week. That really didn't help things. I wish they would have explained where he was. Was he selling the the beatdown that he took? Is he in a local medical facility? Was he injured? Did he suffer a torn meniscus in that table spot? I mean, they give us something. You know, you have Jacob Fatu out there running around with a walking boot, but Roman Reigns gets put Roman Reigns gets put through a table, and no, he's gone with no explanation. Like I do wish that they would have, you know, they did kind of further the story a little bit, but not really, because Roman wasn't there. But yeah, I just wanted to know where he was. And again, Roman needs to cut a freaking promo when he comes back. But you know, because it'll be what, 3, 4, 5 weeks since he returned, and we still haven't heard him say a word. I don't know what they're doing.
I wonder if they're just waiting for him to come back with Paul Heyman and then have Paul Heyman cut everything. Maybe. Like I said, there's words on the streets, homie, that Roman Reigns can't cut a babyface promo, but I don't think Roman Reigns needs to cut a babyface promo. I think Roman Reigns needs to just still be the tribal chief. It still works.
Yeah, he just needs to be
like
himself.
MJF and Stone Cold. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get cheered for being the anti-person, the anti-hero. I feel like every SmackDown now is to downgrade Cody Rhodes and to push Jacob Fatu. I feel like that's all we do now. It's like, here's your champion, but he's really not important. And why are they so A-Town Down won the tag team titles at WrestleMania. They then defended it never for about 5 months. Then they lost their tag team titles in their first title defense, basically. And then now they have moved on to feuding with Cody Rhodes, the World Heavyweight Champion. This is all we have on SmackDown. This is it. Like, I love Grayson Waller. I love Austin Theory. But please tell me how this is enhancing Cody Rhodes in any way, shape, or form. And then Cody and KO, we're right back to Cody versus anybody. It's just been the same thing. No build, no story. Just throw him in there. Like, unless Kevin turns after he loses to Cody at the next one and they build that again. But KO ain't beating Cody. So there's no like, I don't understand what we're doing here. I just feel like, and now we're not even talking about Nia Jax. She's just in the back telling people to fix her crown and glaring at everybody. There's no, like, I thought it was the Bayley problem. I think SmackDown just has a problem. I don't know what's happening week to week on this. We have LA Knight, who is doing literally, he's the same freaking, I thought at least he would up his game a little bit as IC champion. He's just as boring as ever. We have Carmelo Hayes and Andrade feuding for the past 6 months, A-Town and Cody, and then the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu beating everybody up. Rinse and repeat. There's no we have no movement on SmackDown. SmackDown used to be the best show on TV. I don't know if they're doing this because they don't give two craps, because they don't want Fox to have anything good. Maybe they're not, but have you seen the ratings too? They're plummeting.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's exactly what it is. I think apparently there was, Fox made some comments about the WWE when it was announced that they weren't renewing their rights, their TV rights, and people have been complaining about Fox like censoring SmackDown and the black screen of death all the time. So I honestly do think WWE is phoning it all in these last couple of weeks on SmackDown, because they don't care. They're going to be off TV anyway. Fox isn't really promoting it anymore. Like, they used to be all over the Fox Sports and Fox NFL Sunday. Now they're not even promoting SmackDown at all. They used to have like the wrestlers come and drive the pace car at the Daytona 500, and they're not doing that anymore either. So yeah, I think they're all, I hope that come USA September 13th, when they move to the new network, I really hope SmackDown makes a turn for the better. I really do. But right now, I don't have high hopes, because it's just the same old, same old.
Well, 100% we're getting The Rock at that SmackDown,
I hope so.
The end, because he's going to be there to figure out what's going on. Maybe we'll wait until that's Paul Heyman, because it's coming up, right? October?
September.
Like pretty soon.
Like 2 weeks.
Oh, so it's like, okay, so
September
we're almost
13th.
there.
Yeah.
My thing is that why diminish your momentum, though? Like, SmackDown has been the hottest show in all of pro wrestling, and now you're just diminishing it. I felt like you just kind of want to go hot into your transition, not cold.
I agree. And Roman, I do think even the last couple of weeks with Roman being there, it really didn't help move the needle at all for SmackDown either.
No, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he same thing every week, but I don't get it.
And you're talking about the black screen. So I used to think maybe it was for a reason. That black screen hits the same time every single time. As soon as the Bloodline come out, they hit the entrance, it goes black. As soon as they hit the ring, it goes black. That cannot be censoring. It's the same exact
Yeah.
black screen, same spot. It's
It's
the only time it
annoying.
happens.
Yeah.
It's
I always
the
think
only
like,
time it happens.
I always think, is it my TV? Is it my phone? Is it my
I don't think
reception?
that anymore now because it
No.
happens every
Yeah.
flipping week.
It's
But
so
yeah,
freaking so damn annoying. So like, stop doing it. Whatever they're doing, is it a sign that they don't want people to see?
yeah.
Like, and every time the camera cuts that way, it goes black. I don't know.
Mhm.
Just stop it. Let us
Well,
watch SmackDown in peace.
Right. Well, before we move on to Raw, the only thing, KO and Cody, have anything to say about it? Like, are you liking this? Are you thinking Kevin's going to turn? Do you want to wait till predictions to talk about that? Like, what's your, like, I don't like showing him turning on everyone. And he's like, everyone deserved it, but Kofi.
Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah.
Like, how
Kofi's
did
turning heel. Kofi's about to turn heel. That's
Yeah.
another sign that Kofi's
Or
gonna
is he? We'll see.
Yeah.
But not, that's another sign.
It's
But
another sign. Like,
nonetheless,
hey,
he
he didn't.
Sammy
Yeah.
deserved it. There was one where Sammy was like begging for forgiveness. He's like, please don't hit me. And he's like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. Like,
And,
what in the world?
Chris Jericho's there, but that was a choice, putting Chris Jericho on television.
I actually liked it. I like that because that's one of the greatest things ever happened on WWE television.
I agree.
Jericho and Kevin, Jericho and Shawn Michaels, the two best. But that thing of why is my name on the list? I'll never forget that.
Yeah, no, it was great. Don't get me wrong. I was just, you don't ever see the WWE. You hardly ever see them putting contracted wrestlers, even if they worked for the company before. Like, we're not going to see Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30, the Yes Movement clips anytime soon. Now that he's AEW champion, so it was just, I was happy to see it. Don't get me wrong. It's another way that Triple H is different than Vince.
I mean, Ricochet kept his name. That's another way it's different than. Well, I mean, they don't have to show that WrestleMania moment anymore. Yeah, because Bryan Danielson stated that his biggest moment ever was winning at Wembley. So
good for him.
Stupid. That's so stupid. Get the out of here.
Yeah,
that was a bigger winning in Wembley was bigger than winning at Russ. That moment at Russ. Get the at it. As soon as he said that, I just want to like find him and slap him in the stop.
Yeah,
stop.
we get your.
Just stop.
You're just drinking the company Kool-Aid.
Just say it was a great moment. It was not your biggest. Stop. That WrestleMania moment is almost the greatest WrestleMania moment of all time. Stop. Yeah. Stop. That's like Tom Brady saying, like, oh, my Super Bowl rings are great, but my first broadcasting gig is like biggest moment. Like, shut the up.
Winning in the Arena League.
Wembley. Get the hell out of here. All right. You ready for some Monday Night Raw? Or do you want to finish up on KO?
To answer your question, I am not excited about KO and Cody at all. No. I really don't care. And I don't like that they like, if he's going to turn heel, don't telegraph it. Don't tell us like, hey, he might turn heel. Like, let it come naturally.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to show us clips of KO turning on everybody. Just
what else did they have? They had nothing else.
Yeah.
There's no point for them fighting. So they're like, will he or won't he? Name one feud in the past almost 200 days now that Cody's been champ, that you one match, one feud, one anything that you've been like, yeah, this is it.
No, Roman Reigns, but that was
that was before. So since he's won, like Solo maybe, and even then I was kind of like, that's it, right?
Yeah,
more of the I do not understand. I'm sorry, I'm not a John Cena fan, and I'm actually a Cody fan. But if Cody's trying to be the next John Cena, this is not the path. I at least cared about John Cena, man. I at least wanted him to lose. He at least wrestled big people and like had big time feuds. I don't know what the hell we're doing with Cody Rhodes. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, me neither. All right, let's get into Raw, baby, because I like it raw. You ready?
Let's go. Yes, sir.
The Judgment Day opened the show. They brag about the beatdown of the Terra Twins. Daddy Dom will be in the #1 IC contenders tourney. The LWO interrupt, and Daddy Dom and Deadbeat Dad go back and forth. The Judgment Day defeat the LWO with Daddy Dom once again pinning Rey Mysterio, baby. After the match, Rhea and Priest make the save and beat down Carlito and JD McDonough. Bronson Reed tells Miz he is coming for him. Xavier Woods and Kofi are both in the #1 IC tourney. Damage Control defeats Pure Fusion Collective. Maybe they should change their name because ever since they got it, they've done nothing but lose. Yeah. Uncle Howdy video. It's not a VHS, but it is a VHS. I don't know. He doesn't hand them out anymore. And he calls Chad Gable a false leader. Drew McIntyre is out in the ring to talk about CM Punk. He blames the fans for the beatdown Punk will get on Saturday. Punk hits the ring and attacks Drew, who runs away. Jey Uso advances in the number 1 contenders IC tourney by defeating Kingston and Cross. Randy Orton is in the ring for quite a while. He explains why he wants the title. He was like the first ever youngest champion. He was the last combined champion. Now he's going to win the champ. I don't know. It was fun or whatever, but he's going to beat Gunther, and he's going to give Gunther an RKO in Berlin. Fire and Dawn are ready to beat Bianca and Jade in Berlin. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed ends in a no contest when Bronson gives Braun Strowman a splash on top of a car. After the match, Braun can't feel his fingers. Can't feel my fingers. He can't feel his fingers. I can't feel. Did you see all that? And he was like, can't feel his fingers. Can't feel my fingers. I'm assuming he's paralyzed now. I don't know what was happening. Did you not laugh when it happened? Or
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I did.
I thought it was hilarious. Can't feel my finger. He can't feel his finger. Like he was so
It was like it was that scene in Back to the Future is what it reminded me of when after George McFly knocks out Biff, the guy's like, I think he took your wallet. I think he took his wallet.
His wallet. So great. So great. Oh my gosh. All right. But anyway, we'll see if Braun ever gets feeling back in his fingers. Pete Dunne advances in the number 1 IC contender tourney by defeating Miz and Woods. I have no idea what the hell they're doing with Pete Dunne. Braun Breaker warns anyone who wins this tourney. And in the main event, Uncle Howdy defeats Chad Gable, and that is the Monday Night Raw review. Can't feel his fingers. I need to make that a shirt.
Yeah.
The fact that he came out and like reiterated that he can't feel his fingers is.
I don't know if you guys heard.
I thought it took away from the thing. I know we will talk about it because we texted about it. We both have different opinions, but I was all for it until that moment happened. I was like, what the fudge are we feel is? Like, why is he paralyzed from a splash on the car? Like, stop. Let's not stop.
In WWE, man, like they like to troll us, and you know, we all the time, you, me, and the rest of the WWE fans were mixing up Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, and they literally opened Raw. They literally opened Raw with Braun Breaker walking his dog into the building. Then they show Braun Strowman walking into the building, and then they show Bronson Reed. Like, way to go, WWE! Shout out to y'all. Thank you for trolling all of us, because they know, like, hey, the 3Bs are coming in. Let's just screw it up for everybody.
All big dudes, all meaty. I can't, like, me writing these. I'm always like, gosh, I'm gonna mess this up.
Yeah, and like, how do you spell Braun versus Braun, and how do you use Braun's son?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it's a headache. Well, where do you want to start? A lot happened on here. We got at least covered Judgment Day and the Braun, and then the main event. But what you have anything else, or what do you want to start?
I want to give props to Drew McIntyre. I thought that promo that he cut was fantastic. You know, it probably won't go down as like promo of the year or anything, but it was he got his point across, and I really liked a lot of the stuff that he said. You know, one of my favorite lines is when he was talking about the fans and basically saying what we have been saying about CM Punk ever since he came back, is that he's a one-trick pony. He keeps saying the same thing week in and week out, and he's a nostalgia act, and the fans have chosen nostalgia over the warriors that put their butts on the line every single week. Or I'm paraphrasing there, but it was something along those lines. And I like that line. I thought it was a good promo and a good way to build to this match, because it's kind of true. CM Punk is not the we talk about that all the time, but he's not the same CM Punk that he was in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And I think Drew McIntyre called him out on it. I also like that he was talking about how he sat on his ass for the last 8 years, while the rest of us have been over here working. So it was good trolling, but it was also a really good promo from Drew, who I think has been carrying this feud with CM Punk.
Well, yeah, they haven't been giving CM Punk much promo time. They haven't really given him much anything. It did throw me off, though. I mean, I go by the, whoever gets the last laugh loses. That was debunked. Mariah May did get the last laugh, and she ended up, spoiler alert, beating Toni Storm. So I was surprised by that. So, I mean, it wasn't too much comeuppance. I mean, he did chase him off and ran away. But, I mean, I am thrown off by that. But nonetheless, I liked it too. And I love that he just went at the fans, and love the fact that he was telling them, you keep chanting his name. Every time you chant his name, I'm going to whip him more or whatever. And this is all on you. And I loved it because it's finally... I'm done with this CM Punk as a badass guy. I like that Drew's like, he ain't a badass. He's a punk, and I'm going to whoop that ass. The end. Like, bigger, badder. He's old. He's a one-hit pony. Like, I'm gonna work this dude, and I loved it. And like, why would you want a strap match? It just gives him more an advantage because now not only am I better than you, now I'm gonna whoop you as well. You're giving me a weapon. I loved it all.
I thought it was a missed opportunity in my opinion. Not because you were fresh off the AEW All In. It was about a year ago that CM Punk beat up Jack Perry backstage, and basically lost his job. So maybe Punk was like, "Hey, don't bring this up." Like maybe Punk was like, "We're drawing the line there." But I do wish that Drew McIntyre would have alluded to something pertaining to Brawl In last year. Like, hey, we're fresh off of CM Punk has another anniversary to celebrate today, right, everybody, or something like that. Like, just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But
unless Trips didn't want it to happen, I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Don't bring it up."
Maybe Punk didn't want it.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to keep
opens the door for questions. But
I mean, he just did a pretty big sit-down interview about him being a cancer, and he's like, "No one's complaining about me now, and they're still having issues." So I did see an interview. I forgot who it was with.
It was that Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I want to slip into the Judgment Day now because I've posted all over TikTok about how I feel like the Judgment Day 3.0 is the best Judgment Day there is. And I think they're proving me right. They're not going up and down. They're just being those heels that they should have always been. And I like throwing in the LWO. I like seeing Dom beat Ray again. Now it's 2-2. I like seeing, right? 2-2? Yeah. Or did he lose 3 times? I forget. Either way, I think it's 2-2. So maybe we can finish it at Mania. I like what they're doing here. All of it. The Dom and Liv, the Finn Balor feels important again, and not backing down from the Terror Twins. I have to say, out of all of this, I'm feeling like Priest and Rhea are losing some shit during this segment, not Judgment Day. For one, they look like idiots. They both came out in vests this week wearing each other's shirts. Like, you guys, are you guys like supposed to be dating? Are you guys brother and sister? Is he like that friend who's in the friend zone? Like, what? Not you guys are like trying to look alike. They look like idiots. That I get they're the Terror Twins, so they have to like have the same vibe. But I felt like they ran to the ring, and I was like, ugh. And I've never said ugh to either of them ever. I have like 4 Rhea Ripley shirts. It was like ugh city. Go ahead.
Yeah, even when their music hit and they came out to the ring, it felt like they had no sense of urgency whatsoever. I mean, like Rhea lost to Liv at SummerSlam because of Dom, and then Finn lost to SummerSlam to Gunther because of Finn, and they both just walk out slowly. They like stare at each other. They give each other like a high five. I think they they took their vests off and they showed their shirts. And then they run. Then they finally like, oh, we got to run to the ring. Like, they should have just like immediately, as personal as this is, and as we have a big big event coming up like the very next week, that weekend. Why not have them immediately run into the ring and beat them down? Make them look strong. Instead, they're just like do. Hey, nice shirt. Hey, nice vest. Here you go. And then now let's go to the ring. It was just
not only that. They should have rushed it as well, because there was a spot where Dom was supposed to be stuck on the pole. That mofo had to stand there for like 10 minutes while they were coming out. He was literally like,
come on, guys. Yeah.
Why would he have not have gotten down? He was like sitting there, and then Priest was like, and Dom's like, all right, is Rhea behind me? Because you guys took I'm standing here like a moron. Looking like it was all bad. All of it was bad, but JD wasn't bad. The Judgment Day is looking good. I don't mind Carlito and McDonough taking it. That's what happens. It's better them than all the rest getting out of the way. It's feeling great. I'm loving it. Just the Judgment Day part though, but I do feel like Rhea and Priest, win or lose, I think maybe we need to like let them let's get Priest back into something, Rhea back into it. We don't need the Terra Twins. I'm not feeling this.
They can like stay together but be separate. I'm fine with that. Like, let them be cool. Let Damian Priest go after Finn Balor, and then let Rhea Ripley go after Liv Morgan. But they don't need to be teaming together. Don't make this a faction. Don't make this like, we don't need the Terror triplets and add another person to the group. We don't need anybody else. Just let them kind of be cordial with each other, respect each other, but go their own separate ways. Because I agree. I think they are starting to lose some steam, and I do like that they gave Carlito some mic time. I do like that they gave JD some mic time. I like that. I feel like they are holding up their end of the bargain of no leaders in the group. I feel like everybody's getting an opportunity to shine in various ways.
They look good. They look good.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Bronson versus Braun, because liked it. Yeah, you liked it.
I loved it. I didn't like it. I loved it, but I'll get into it. Go ahead.
I did not like this at all. I thought I don't know. It was just not.
Say why. Defend it. No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let us have it. Why did you not like it? You're allowed to have an opinion.
Okay, well, first of all, they teased us as to like, okay, last week they brought Braun Strowman back, thinking like, oh, he's going to be the guy that stands up to big bad Bronson Reed, who's been running amok on R-Truth and Seth Rollins and The Miz. So Braun Strowman's going to stop him. No, Braun Strowman did not stop him. He can't feel his fingers if you haven't heard.
Can't feel his fingers.
And it was just, the stuff in the segment. I mean, yeah, the spot on the car was cool, and it's no higher than maybe like the top rope of a WWE ring jumping onto Yeah, it was nowhere near that high, but I don't know. Braun, it just felt awkward to me. It felt very pro wrestling, like you could tell it was like planned and rehearsed. Oh yeah. Braun Strowman, right before he does it, he lifts his head up like, "Hey, you coming? You're coming, right? Okay, come on down." And then he puts his head back down, and then Bronson Reed does the move. I don't know. I don't like it when somebody's been gone for a while. He comes back, and there's all this hype around him, and hoopla is like he's going to be the guy to stop Bronson Reed, and he doesn't. And he yes, it was a no contest, but still, I just did not. I don't know. I just didn't like this at all.
I'm fine with that. I no issues there. And I feel like Vince loved the big guys. Triple H and Tony Khan hate the big guys. I'm just starting to get into that trend. Because even though Bronson's a big guy, he's not. He's like 4'11", 392 pounds. Wide. So he's not like he's just a wide dude. Same thing with like Otis. He's not a big guy. He's just a big dude. Here's my thing. I like that they started off with him threatening The Miz, saying like, this is unfinished business. And I
did like that.
I was saying last week too that I was upset that they stopped the splashes because I felt like Bronson Reed wasn't there yet, and I felt like they were getting him there. Back-to-back weeks of him just splashing people. I thought that should have went on for a few more weeks, 4 more weeks, another month maybe, just to get him more, the crowd just wanting somebody to whoop his ass. They're behind him as a heel, and I thought they ended it early. So the match I was disappointed in because I did think like, 1, he's going to have a competitive match. 2, is he going to beat him? So you're going to lose momentum. And we'll talk about someone like that in AEW right now, where I'm like, if you're trying to build momentum, don't have him lose. Then the match kind of like ended, I think. I don't know what happened. And then Bronson Reed, just like Dirty Dom on the pole, was waiting 4.5 minutes for Braun Strowman to come in with the trash can. And then he threw a plastic trash can at him. But either way, they get to this car scene, and I'm waiting for it. And yes, I agree. Not only did he look, he also like tucked in early too. He tucked in before he was in. Usually you tuck in like right before it hit so it doesn't look obvious. He was tucked like in the slow-mo when Bronson Reed was like barely in the air. But that shot in that spot was flipping. That's like camera work 101. For one, the fact that they set that car up to like explode like that, it was so like, it was like when you go to a hotel and they're like, this is like a haunted hotel, and then the lights are flickering and things because the hotel has it all rigged. It was like a perfectly rigged car. The electricity like sparked on the inside, all the windows perfectly imploded out. It was all like so perfectly done. It just looked like a really cool spot. And after that, the reason why I like it so much is because I said, okay, that was a good way. You took a week off from him splashing somebody over and over again, but you did that. And it was a splash, and it was a big man. Now, next week, you can do it to The Miz 8 times in a row again. I liked it. I liked the build. I like what they did. And now I feel like you're still getting there because I think the crowd was against it. And I think they were like, F this guy. Why'd you splash Braun Strowman on a car? I think it did help in the long run. So that's the reason why I liked it.
Yeah. No, and you're right. I mean, the car shot was really, it was shot really well. I did like that. It looked, better than a lot of recent stuff where the ambulance stuff that Braun Strowman used to do. And this was really, it was shot really well. I just didn't. It was the tucking of the, like you said, the lifting of the head and the tucking in right before that took me out of it. I was like, all right, come on, like we know that was I'm not supposed to watch it and go, okay, like I want to feel like
Yeah.
this was real, and it just didn't feel real to me.
I get that. This IC tourney, by the way, kind of want to bring it up just because Braun Breaker is this beast right now, right? And he just won the title, like 2 days ago? So you give him this belt, and instead of having him just like destroy people, defend his title, build up his momentum, because remember, Braun Breaker still isn't over. I feel like people think anyone who gets cheered or gets some YouTube attention means they're over. That does not mean these people can disappear just as quickly as they appear. If Braun Breaker left TV tomorrow, he'll be forgotten. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's like there yet. So you have a chance with this young up and comer. And what do? You put him in a wait until this tourney that I have no idea even what it is. What are we doing with this? All these matches, and then they go into brackets. They're calling it a tournament, but it's 3 up. So either way, you're going to have this dude just sit and wait and lose momentum. And then you're going to put people like Dom and Jey Uso. These people aren't going to lose to Braun Breaker or beat Braun Breaker. So you have Jey Uso as the number 1 merch seller, blah, 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 blah. He's done literally nothing since he came to Raw. And you're going to have him job to Braun Breaker? I don't understand this tourney at all. I think this is stupid, and then you're going to have Dom enter it and lose momentum. He ain't winning. He probably won't even win the 3-way next week. So what are we doing here? Why are we having I just feel like this tournament's a stupid idea. Why didn't Braun just start wrecking people? Why didn't he go beat Pete Dunne and go beat Dragunov and go beat Homeboy from Gunther's crew and go beat just wrestle these people and just beat them, whoever you have, and build that momentum, then do a tournament in hopes that hey, maybe Jey Uso will defeat him. He's going to win this tournament. Now he's coming after you, Braun Breaker. I don't feel that happening right now. I feel like this is just pointless filler, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much truer words have never been spoken, because that was exactly how I feel. It's just not like, I feel like WWE, they run with something one week and then they don't run with it at all the next week, and or they do it like one person at a time. So Braun Breaker had his moment where he killed Ricochet backstage and was beating everybody up, spearing people left and right, fighting everybody backstage. Adam Pearce couldn't contain him. Then he gets rewarded with its Intercontinental Championship match. He wins the title. And instead of continuing that, they kind of give his momentum to Bronson Reed, who's doing a lot of the same stuff that Braun Breaker was doing, beating people up, not listening to authority, and then getting big matches. And it's like, you can build both of these guys. You don't have to just build one at a time. Like, you can keep Braun Breaker being an ass kicking machine while also having Bronson Reed as an ass kicking machine. You don't have to have one.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like they're doing. It's like, okay, well, Braun had his moment of spearing people and the running spear and the aerial shot of spearing people through the barricade. So now that he's the champion, let's focus on Bronson Reed, and he's doing tsunamis 8 times to Seth Rollins and making him cough up blood, and he's beating up R-Truth, and he's jumping off of cars. And so, yeah, I agree that Braun Breaker's losing momentum with this in this tournament's not the right way to do it, because he's losing momentum because he's not doing anything. He's not being the ass kicking machine. And then, who's going to win this tournament? I mean, Jey Uso, like you said, he's not beating Braun Breaker. Chad Gable, he's not beating Braun Breaker. The Miz, he's not beating Braun. Pete Dunne's not beating Braun Breaker. So what's the point of this tournament? Build somebody up, and I don't feel like they're not building anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I fully agree. All right, let's end it with this main event. I'll let you go. What do you think?
I thought it was a solid in-ring debut, I guess, for Uncle Howdy. I liked his entrance. I enjoyed. I like that. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed the match. I hate it for Chad Gable. I feel like he's done nothing but lose ever since he re-signed with WWE.
He's getting paid. He's fine.
Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, I mean, the match was what it was. Nothing really stood out to me as great. Nothing really stood out to me as like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible moment. I like that. We had the ref bump. Uncle Howdy hit him with the mandible claw. And then the Creeds looked strong in this match, even though everybody took an L. I like that Uncle Howdy was laughing at the Creeds. when the Wyatt Six came out. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a good way to end the show.
I mean, Bo Dallas can wrestle, so the match was great. Chad Gable can wrestle Bo Dallas. I like that he was human. I like that it wasn't like supernatural. There was no stupid red lights or anything like that. Nothing going on. It was like they waited for poor Bray Wyatt to pass away for them to finally figure out what they should have done with this Wyatt family. And it's really good. The only thing I didn't like, his mask. I thought his hair was.
He looks. He doesn't look intimidating.
No, he doesn't at all. And honestly, for one, he had like white dreadlocks that went all the way down to like his butt. Why did you give him such long? Like it's just in the way, and it didn't make him look intimidating. And secondly, did he not look like a Timu Kane? He had one glove on.
Oh yeah,
like a red glove. He had long pants that were tights. And then he had like a tank top on that was like a tight shirt. He looked like a Timu Kane. They were like, hey, we're going to give you a mask, one glove, and a tank top with long pants. You're going to be that guy. I would have been like, no, thanks. He just looked like Kane. So he didn't look, and maybe they're doing that so he just can wrestle and be a normal guy and doesn't, but I don't know. At least the Fiend had like cool pants and a cool tank. Like he just looked, it was all black. He just looked literally like a creative wrestler Kane version. That's what he looked like. But other than that, I liked everything else. I just didn't like his look. We need to upgrade him a little bit. I don't know. The hair was stupid.
I say take the mask off. I know everyone thinks like he's the only one that should have a mask on because he's the leader of the group while everyone else wrestles with their mask off. I just say take it off because I feel like he would look a lot better without, like, he doesn't have white hair in real life. So why is his Uncle Howdy having the whitish hair, the grayish hair, the mask being like greenish, like forest green, like I just say come out with the mask. Looks dope. Bring it out there. Take it off and then wrestle with your like. Let us see your face. I mean, we've seen your face in all the vignettes. We've seen your face backstage in meetings with Adam Pearce. We've seen your face as you've gotten beaten down by the Creeds, and only for the Wyatt Six to come out. So why not let us see your face in the ring?
Yeah. And other than that, Wyatt Six is killing it. I like what they're doing with it. So still doing good things. All right.
Agreed.
Let's get into some NXT. And this was
do we have to?
We do. And we're going to talk about that phenomenal guy that I have been giving crap to. And I've gotten Wikipedia lessons and everything else about why he's so phenomenal. But I've yet to see anything good come out of this guy. You ready?
Go for it, man.
Let's go. Toxic fatal influence defeat the metaphor to open up the show. Eddie Thorpe brags about being a deep jet. Brooks Jensen attacks Inoue. Carmen Petrovic defeats Izzy Dame. Jada Parker has a sit-down interview about her life and goals, or I don't know. The D'Angelo family defeats No Quarter Catch Crew. Pete Dunne says he'll take out Trick Williams. That's right, Pete Dunne, the guy who's now in the IC. All right. Ethan Page wants to be suspended so he doesn't have to wrestle Joe Hendry. Wesley and Zachary Wentz are in the ring. They go back and forth. Joe Hendry tells Trick Williams he'll give him the first shot at the title when he wins it. Kalani Jordan defeats Rosemary from TNA. After the match, Wendy Chu chokes out Jordan. Oro Mensa go and Lexis King brawl, but Lexis King was the babyface in this. I mean, Oro Mensa literally made fun of his dead dad, and then he punched him for it. Seems pretty valid to me. A weird segment. Chase, you are in class, and Axiom and Frazier say they'll win the titles back. Brooks Jensen defeats Malik Blade in honor of Inoue. Hank and Tank will face OTM at some point in the future. Joe Coffey defeats Javon Evans. Obafemi is at the Tony D restaurant to tell him to be ready for Sunday. Joe Hendry has a concert and tells Ethan Page to wear clothes. And then Ethan Page interrupts. Thank freaking God. I've never been so happy to see anybody interrupt anything in my entire life. Then Trick Williams is announced as the special guest referee, and Joe Hendry pins Ethan Page, because I guess that's the thing. Every time Ethan Page wrestles somebody, he's going to get pinned. And that's the close of the show of the NXT review, and we are starting with this stupid ending.
Well, wait, that did it end the show. Because Pete Dunne was on the last. What was it? It ended with Pete Dunne warning that Trick Williams wasn't going to make it to their match if next week.
Oh, you're right. He did say that. You're right.
Right as like then the show goes off the air. And
then the show goes. Yeah.
Huh? Pete.
Yeah. I don't know what he meant by that, because is he going to be? Well, obviously he's going to come in because Joe Hendry's not winning the title. But yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I
But let's
don't.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Who
I don't
wrote that for Joe Hendry? Does he write his shit, or does a 5-year-old? I feel like my son wrote that. It was like the most childish, stupidest. It is awful.
So dumb.
Please explain. That guy who did a Wikipedia page on me was saying like, "Oh, you can't compare him to The Rock because it's too." I can, because they're both singing songs, trying to be funny, making fun of people. I cannot with Joe Hendry. Get him off my freaking screen. I will never believe. I'm sorry. I've seen enough.
It was weird. He was like making fun of Ethan Page's love for action figures and cosplay and all this. Like, I don't know. Like, that doesn't make me want to watch their match on Sunday at No Mercy.
No.
Like, it did nothing for me to go, you know what? Like, I want to see these guys fight. If anything, it made me want to change the channel and see what else was on Tuesday night and not watch these guys. I don't see the appeal of Joe Hendry either. I know we're probably the only two clowns on the internet that don't get it, but I think everyone
gets it.
They just say
he's
they
a
do.
fad.
Yeah.
They want to like him. Yeah. No. Yeah. Get out of my face.
And then Trick, like, I love Trick Williams. I think he's fantastic, and he's the face of NXT, and he should be. But why the hell is he the guest referee of this match? I mean, he lost the triple. He wasn't even in the triple threat. He's been wrestling Pete Dunne. Why is he? What makes him so special to be the guest referee? And then we have a backstage moment with Joe Hendry and Trick Williams saying, "Hey, the title shot's yours if I win." Like, but in Trick Williams, "Oh, I'm going to hold you to that." And I don't know. All of it was just. I don't care about Ethan Page and Joe Hendry at No Mercy. They did a really bad job of making me want to tune in and watch it.
Yeah, 100%. That was the stupidest shit ever. Put on some clothes. He's working out privately in his house in shorts.
Yeah.
I put on some clothes. He was in shorts. It's not like he was like posing like half naked, or he was literally in shorts just working out. I didn't understand. He was wearing the same thing Joe Hendry was wearing at that moment. I don't get it. I don't like him. I don't want to say I don't have anything personal against him. I just don't think he's it. Maybe he was better in other organizations, but here in TNA and NXT, I don't get him. I get he has a cool song, which I don't even think is that cool. I'd much rather hear Jericho's song any day of the week than that. I'd much rather hear Swerve's song. That there's a lot of songs I'd much rather hear than his song. So I don't even think the song's a banger. I don't get it. Once again, he's like, when my daughter tells me, like, do you know this new TikTok craze and this and that? And it's not that good. I'm like, honey, let me tell you something. Just because it's like a poppin' thing, it's trending at the moment, doesn't make it good. Just makes it trending. That's how I felt about Joe Hendry. He's not good. He's just trendy. He will not be around in 8 months. He's just a dude floating around, living by a song. And I don't know. 2 concerts now, they're both been pretty much throw up worthy.
And it's
not even catchy.
To me, the thing is he basically has said that going for the NXT championship is the biggest opportunity of his career, even though he's currently with TNA and he lost an opportunity at their big show, Slammiversary. So why is he on the go home show of what is the biggest opportunity of his career? Why is he out there with a guitar singing songs? Why are we having a goofy segment with him? Like, why not have a face-to-face with him and Ethan Page? Why not have a contract signing? Why not give us a reason to care about this match? Why is Trick Williams getting involved? Like, why? Like, what is the why? And right now, like, it's just because he won a triple threat and Ethan Page plays with action figures and works out in shorts in his home gym. That's why they're fighting. I mean, this is. Yeah, I did not care for this one iota. No. And like I said before, it really made me want to change the channel.
I agree. Something that didn't, and I know you giggled when I said it, but I did like the Tony D and Oba Femi segment. I did. I thought it was cool. I thought Oba felt serious, even though he wasn't drinking wine. He was drinking water. Maybe he doesn't drink alcohol. But he was like just sitting there, looking intense, didn't look at him, basically felt it. Tony D sat down. I'm not afraid of you. Bring it on Sunday, and walked out. This is probably the only match I care about on this card. Or not care about, but that I'm been pushed to want to see at No Mercy. Good stuff, man. And I think this is great for both of them. I think Tony D is kind of the workhorse of NXT, and Obafemi needs that. He needs a guy with some power to kind of throw him around a little bit, make him feel vulnerable. I like this a lot. It reminded me of when he wrestled Duke Hudson, that Duke was able to kind of power him over a little bit, and that was one of his best matches. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for this match, and I like it. I like that they were trying to warn him all day. I just kind of wanted to laugh because it was like an hour in between. Was Oba just sitting there the entire time like that,
Yeah,
like a
are we
brick?
supposed to think
Or was he like,
yeah,
or was he on his phone the whole time? And then he was like, oh shit, he's here. All right. Or was he
Yeah,
sitting there for an hour and a
I
half
know.
like that? But I did like it. I still
Yeah.
dug it.
No, I'm digging this feud, and I like Tony D. I have grown to really like Obafemi. I've enjoyed his reign as NXT North American Champion. I wasn't really feeling him at first, but now he's really starting to come into his own. And Tony D, the best thing that happened to him was him dropping the Heritage Cup, and now he can focus on NXT championships, North American championships, and kind of doing things again on the singles roster. So yeah, like you said, I'm probably most excited about this match of all of them for Sunday.
All right, we're done. Anything else?
Not really. I mean, we'll get into it a lot with predictions.
All right. So that was the week at WWE. Like I said, it wasn't the best week ever. It wasn't awful by any means. It just didn't feel like a 2 go-home episode type, 3 go-home episode type of week. So, all right. So we got 2 big PLEs on Saturday. We have Bash in Berlin at 10 a.m. my time, 1 p.m. your time. And then we have NXT No Mercy on Sunday. So we have 2 different predictions. I want you to play that music and let's get into it.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
All right, Bash in Berlin. We're going to start here. Y'all get your pen and papers out, however you're watching us. And if you don't live in California like me, take all these predictions straight to DraftKings where you can easily win some money off of us. Are you ready? Let's go. First match, we got the Unholy Union, Dawn and Fire versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the former champs, for the women's tag team titles. Who you got?
I'm going Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I think they're going to win. And I think I feel like I say this every time Jade Cargill and Bianca are in a tag team match, but this is the time that somebody's going to turn. And I'm hoping that it's Jade turning on Bianca, and we get something from these 2 girls to kind of close the year with, go into the last 3 months of the year with them feuding. So I think Unholy Union wins, Jade turns on Bianca, and now we have a new women's feud to care about on SmackDown.
So the Unholy Union is probably the most unimportant, boring champions of all of pro 100%. Wrestling. Yeah. All of pro wrestling. They're pointless. I don't know why they have the championships. They don't bring anything. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying I don't like them. They don't have anything right now that makes me think they're carrying this tag team division. So you think we should go with Bianca and Jade, obviously, but if they win, where do we go with it? Who do they feud with? So I'm going to say the Unholy Union win as well, but I'm going to go with Bianca turning on Jade. I want to see Bianca Belair finally be a villain, a bad guy. She needs to be that girl. Her man right now is a bad guy, so I don't know. So let's go. Or is he not? I don't know what they are. But either way, maybe they can go together. But Bianca's been needing something. They need a spark. Jade Cargill was the biggest thing going on, and now she doesn't even wrestle. So I think they need to separate and carry on in the women's division. Maybe start a secondary title. Here we go. All right.
They need something with these girls. They need them to do something for sure.
They do. They do. All right. We got it. The match of the year, right? We got the new couple of the century, Daddy Dom and Liv Morgan versus Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, the Terra Twins. Who you got?
I feel like Liv and Dom should win, but I feel like the Terra Twins are going to win. and I think they're going to win. I think Damien's going to pin Dominic Mysterio, and then the Judgment Day after the match is going to beat them all down. But I think Damien gets the win. He pins. You're not having Rhea pin the champion. So I think, and Dom, there's a reason Finn's not there. So I think Dom always takes the losses, and so I think Dom's going to lose, and Damien pins him.
We're keeping the Judgment Day hot, brother.
I hope
we just had Dom beat Ray almost back to back in a month. Dom needs a big win. I'm going Liv Morgan, Daddy Dom winning with Finn Balor costing Damian Priest.
Yeah,
and
I can
Daddy
see that too.
Dom getting the pin, keeping his damn momentum going. He can't lose before going into the IC tourney. He's going to pin Damian Priest, and that's going to lead and continue on what we said, the separation with Priest going after Finn and Rhea going after Liv. I got the JD winning, baby. Let's go, Daddy Dom. You need it.
Yeah. No, it's a solid pick. That's a good pick.
All right. Next up. Ooh, we got the world undisputed, universal, undisputed WWE champ. We got Cody Rhodes belt versus Kevin Owens for the title. Who do you got?
I'm going to go Cody Rhodes, and I don't think Kevin Owens turns heel at the show. I think he'll turn. If he's going to turn, it's going to be on the SmackDown afterwards, or maybe at the next pay-per-view. But I think Kevin Owens wins. This match is going to be a banger, and there's no doubt about that when it comes to the match. But Cody Rhodes is not. He's not losing. He's not losing until he faces The Rock, whenever that is. So, Kevin Owens is going to bring it, but he's not turning heel in Berlin. I'll be very surprised if he does.
Same thing. Cody wins, no turn. There's no point to have Kevin Owens turn. We don't need any more heels on SmackDown. That's it. Yeah, we'll move on. All right, what's next? The match will be a banger, but there's no story, so I don't feel invested. Speaking of story, here it is. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the strap match. The strap match, they got to touch all four corners, right?
Yeah. Yep. They got to touch all four, I'm going.
Let's go. Who do you get?
I think CM Punk's going to win this one. And then this is going to lead to a Hell in a Cell for the final match at their next pay-per-view, which is Bad Blood. So I think CM Punk, Drew McIntyre won the first match in SummerSlam. CM Punk's going to win this one. It's going to be his first singles win in WWE in over 10 years. So, they're going to hype that up. And then we'll get the rubber match in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, you can't have a rubber match if Drew wins, and they're not done yet. But I do think, so I have CM Punk as well, but I think Drew does something stupid where he throws him or hits him too hard and he falls into the last corner, and that's how Punk wins. And Drew's like, I should have won. He only won. And that's what'll lead to a Hell in a Cell or something like that. Yeah, but I think Punk doesn't win, obviously. I think this is Drew McIntyre still looking vicious.
And I think the bracelet somehow gets involved. The bracelet is the reason it was CM Punk's downfall at SummerSlam. It'll be Drew McIntyre's downfall this time around somehow.
That's true. Maybe he's trying to get it and then he pushes them away from it and he hits the corner or something like that. Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
All right. Last match. We got the heavyweight champion. Yeah. The world heavyweight champion, Gunther versus Randy Orton. Who you got?
Gunther. I feel like this is the most obvious pick of the whole entire card. That and Cody Rhodes, but Gunther's winning. If anybody turns heel, I know everyone's talking about a Kevin Owens heel turn. I feel like Randy Orton, it would make more sense to turn heel and go back to the diabolical ways and then have him feud with Cody Rhodes in the latter half of the year or something along those lines. Going into the new SmackDown on USA, going into Survivor Series, we have the leg. They already have a built-in story, so I could see Randy turning on the SmackDown afterwards, and not Kevin Owens. But either way, Gunther's retaining.
That's exactly how it's happening. Gunther wins. Randy goes back to SmackDown, realizes that his little goody two shoes signing kids things on the side is not working, and he's ready to turn and go back to the vicious Viper, and that's when he'll start feuding with Cody Rhodes. So, Gunther will win and continue on his reign of terror against whoever's next. All right, NXT No Mercy. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. Get these predictions going. Remember, fire up those DraftKings if you're not in California. Put your money on us. We'll win you money. All right. Let's go. Who's first? Oh, we got Wes Lee versus Zachary Wentz in a we used to be best friends, but now we're not matched.
Yeah.
Who do you got? And why is it Wesley?
Yeah, it's got to be Wesley. He just turned heel. You're not having him. He's not losing his first match back after he turns heel. It doesn't make any sense. I think it's going to be probably the best, probably match of the night, the show stealer on the card. Both of these guys are fantastic in the ring. Both of these guys are tremendous high flyers. It's also Wesley's first pay-per-view match back, if I'm not mistaken. So, and Zachary Wentz, as Wesley said, he's only a TNA guy. So Zachary Wentz is not winning. It's going to be Wesley.
Yeah, this is just Wesley wins. It's a perfect way to start off his new heel persona by beating his best friend. Wentz will lose, have a great match. People will cheer. They'll say he needs to go battle Ricochet at AEW, and then he'll go back to TNA. So,
yeah.
All right. Let's move it on. Woo-woo. We got the tag team title match. We got Chase U versus Frazier and Axiom for the tag team championships. Who you got? Look at Andre Chase. Look at him. Dang.
Chase U's they didn't win the title. I mean, Shawn Michaels does this sometimes, though. He'll have a team win the title to give him a moment, just to have him lose it again at the next.
He did it to Chase U.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think he's not going to do the same. He's not going to make that same mistake twice. I think Chase U's retaining. Axiom and Frazier are closer and closer to breaking up, and maybe this is finally the straw that breaks the camel's back with them. But Chase U's retaining. Maybe Axiom and Frazier break up, and we move on to bigger and better things for Chase U.
Frazier's turning, isn't he? It's Frazier because they've been hinting it was Axiom. Yeah. I think Frazier turns here. Chase U wins. Frazier turns. We're done with Frazier and Axiom. I think this is it right here.
Yeah,
that's what I'm smelling. Bank your money on it. All right. Woo! The match of the night, in my opinion. We got Tony D'Angelo versus Obafemi Wakanda Forever for the men's NXT championship. Who you got? This is probably the only match I think that's hard to predict.
Yeah, because it could go either way. But I'm gonna say Obafemi retains. I think he retains. Tony D gives him a hell of a fight. He puts up probably the best match that Obafemi's had. And this is going to be the first of a series of matches between these guys, I hope. And yeah, I think Obafemi. I think Tony D will take the belt off of Obafemi eventually, but not at No Mercy. So I think Obafemi retains this time.
I feel like there's no surprises all weekend. We need one. I'm going Tony D, brother. He's been around since the beginning of NXT 2.0. Obafemi's had a great run. He's had the title for a while. Him losing it does not diminish him in any way, shape, or form. And, we need world championship contenders, especially if Trick's going to keep going after Pete Dunne. I think Oba moves on. I got Tony D winning and finally getting the respect he deserves. So, yep.
Yeah,
I'm going to go my only surprise, Tony D.
Yeah, that's a solid pick.
All right, the women's championship. We got Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker. Who do you got?
Roxanne Perez. She's not dropping the belt anytime soon. And Jada Parker, she's gonna give her a fight. She's gonna look great doing it. But this is Roxanne Perez all day, every day.
Roxanne Perez, yeah. If she wasn't gonna lose to somebody like Sol Ruka, she ain't losing to Jada Parker. This is just to get Jada Parker out there and have people see her and see what she can do in the spotlight if she's ready or not.
Especially with
Perez,
them
easily.
Especially with NXT starting to tour and go arena to arena and leave the Performance Center. It's good way to showcase your women's talent. So it makes sense.
I agree. All right. Wendy Chu. The NXT Women's North American Championship for the women. We got Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu. Who you got?
I'm gonna play it safe. I could see Wendy Chu winning, but I'm gonna play it safe and say Kalani Jordan retains for the same reason that Jada Parker's not winning. It's just a way to kind of showcase your women's talent and get Wendy Chu on the map a little bit. But Kalani Jordan's retaining that belt.
Wendy Chu ended off the NXT choking her out. She ain't winning.
Yeah.
Kalani Jordan wins, continues her surprising title run. All right. Let's go. The main event, what everyone is putting their money in for. While all 45 TNA fans and all half of the 200,000 AEW fans who are going to tune in to their first ever NXT PLE, we got the champion, Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry with special guest referee Trick Williams for the NXT World Championship. Who you got?
Ethan Page.
Do you
retains.
believe?
Ethan Page is retaining. There's going to be a ref spot. I think he's going to inadvertently knock out Trick or something, maybe advertently knock out Trick, and a new ref's going to come in, and Ethan Page is going to pin Joe Hendry, and that's going to set up hopefully a future match with Trick and Joe, and also Trick and Ethan Page for the title.
Ethan Page wins the end. Joe Hendry ain't winning nothing.
No.
I'm just wondering if Pete Dunne takes out Trick before
I could see, yeah,
the match and replaces him, takes him out before, or sometime in the match comes in and takes him out, which distracts Joe Hendry with Ethan Page hits his finisher and another referee comes in. Either way, Trick ain't counting the pinfall, and Ethan Page wins and continues on. Hopefully he gets somebody real next time. Like I said, Ethan Page and Obafemi, sign me up, man. I mean, even if Ethan Page loses a title in a couple months to Obafemi, that was still a good run. Let Obafemi run with it. But yeah, we need something going on.
I could see them putting this belt on Joe Hendry because of how over he is, but I just don't want them to.
They're not going to. No way.
I could see it
not happening.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. That's our predictions, dude. We did them all. Make sure to watch them. Tune in. Everything else. If you subscribe to us on YouTube or anything else, pay attention. We might do some watch-alongs. We're not sure. We are busy people. But if we do, have those subscriptions hit, notifications on, so that way you can know if we're popping on or not. Our watch-alongs are always great. As always, we appreciate you for tuning in. Oh, we got MVD and LVD of the week. That's right. I forgot with all those predictions. All right, let's get into it.
Can be quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Least valuable dude or dudette and the most valuable dude or dudette. Who's your least valuable dude or dudette for the week? There's probably about a handful you can choose from.
Yeah. There's LVD was a hell of a lot easier than MVD, that's for sure. But I'm going to go. I was torn between two. I was going to say the build between Cody and Kevin Owens, but I think we talked about that enough. So I'm going to change it and say Chad Gable. The man turned on Otis and they didn't capitalize on the moment. The man never got his match with Otis. And then he forms a new tag team, which we're supposed to be excited about. American made with the Creed brothers. Ivy Nile turns on.
She looked fine too.
Yeah,
when she was entering the arena.
She joins the match. She joins the group, and all they do is lose. And I get that they're the first opponents for the Wyatt Six, and I get it. Like the Wyatt Six aren't losing their first match, but Chad Gable, man, I had high hopes for him going into when he turned heel on Sami Zayn. I was like, okay, he's finally going to win the Intercontinental title. He's the guy. They're booking him to do it. It makes sense. There's a story. There's a reason. He helped Sami Zayn. He coached him, beat Gunther. He should have been the guy, and then he just haven't done anything with them since, and he lost again on Raw. So Chad Gable.
Great pick. I like that you brought up that him and Otis never finished anything. Are we ever getting there? Who knows? Great pick. I'm going to go with Joe Hendry. I'm sorry.
There you go.
That concert was a freaking laugh. If he wrote that, he should be ashamed of himself. I'm all for potty jokes and poo-poo jokes and Nickelodeon jokes, but that was like literal, like my son, if he was like, I was like, hey, can you write me a song? That's like what he would have wrote. It was pretty awful. It wasn't even catchy. The crowd couldn't even sing along because it was like offbeat too. For him to try to rhyme the words, he had to say too much at the end. It was bad. Joe Hendry has done nothing except disappoint, in my opinion, since combining with the TNA and NXT. So, yes, sir. Joe Hendry.
I agree with that. That's a good pick.
All right. Most valuable dude or dudette. Who do you got? Your MVD.
I feel like I pick him every year or every week that we've done this, but I'm going to say Jacob Fatu again. The man gave up his tag team championship and handed it to Tongaloa. So that way the Tongans could win or could be the tag team champions. Then he goes and helps Tama Tonga and Tongaloa retain, quote unquote, the tag team championships over the Street Profits in the tag team championship match. And then after the match, DIY comes out and he single-handedly takes out DIY. I just feel like he is the strongest point of the bloodline right now. He took out Roman Reigns last week. and they're really booking him up to be solid and strong. And he's doing all this in a walking boot too, which is just phenomenal. So I'm going to say Jacob Fatu is my MVD of the week.
Great pick. I'm going to go with Daddy Dom.
Like
this man not only once again defeated his deadbeat dad Rey Mysterio and pinned him again, but he's just been nothing but hot. He's looking great. He's entering that IC tourney coming up. Him and Liv are just on fire. He's an equal. He doesn't feel like he's like the nerd of the group anymore. I feel like he's finding his ground. And even though Judgment Day we're all getting booed during their promo, no one got booed more than him. That dude got booed.
Couldn't get a word out
of the. It's so insane, so amazing. Got to give it to my boy Daddy Dom.
Yeah, no, that's another good pick. And he did beat Rey, and ever since he's been with Liv, he has beaten Rey Mysterio. And I think there's something to that. And this group's going to be special if they continue booking them right. I
agree. All right. Now we're done. I messed up before. I forgot. We had so many segments. I was like, oh, that's it.
It's all right.
All right. So with that said, I already said my piece there. But if you like to hear what I say, you like to just hear my voice or get some opinions that are outside of this podcast, because I try to change them a little bit, you can follow me at HBD Denton on all social media outlets. And once again, continue to subscribe, continue to like. We keep moving up. We got to get those views up even more. They're peaking, they go up and down, but they're better than what they used to be. So at least we are going up. As always and forever, I'm with my dude, Mr.
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow me on all the social media platforms and hit us up on X at 2DudesPC. Go listen to us or follow us on TikTok at 2Dudes with Attitudes. And then keep hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. Turn on all your notifications, and we're going to start posting more. Now that we're back to doing days and we're not recording at 3:00 in the morning anymore, we can probably churn out a little bit more content every day. So we're gonna try to put some stuff out more regularly. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, thank you for all the love and support. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. And we're blowing up, man. Best unknown wrestling podcast out there. And this is the year of the dudes. That's for sure. 2024. Let's end it strong.
Two dudes with attitudes. We out. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.